Class 12. RNAs are ribonucleic acids. A typical cell contains about 10 times as much RNA as DNA. The high RNA content is due mainly to the large variety of roles played by RNA in the cell. There are three primary types of RNA: ribosomal RNA or rRNA, small r, then capital RNA. rRNA means ribosomal RNA, by far the most abundant. Transfer RNA or small t RNA and messenger RNA, small m RNA. Each of these general classes is actually composed of several unique species. RNA has DNA, that is, both molecules are linear polynucleotide chains, but RNA has the difference in that uracil replaces thymine, and with the exception of some viruses, RNA is single stranded. Most RNAs therefore resemble the conformation of a single stranded DNA, but there is no thymine. Thymine is replaced by uracil in the RNA. Now, before going to the description of RNA, it would be better if we would know something about ribosomes, the cell organelles found both in prokaryotes and in eukaryotes. The ribosomes are composed of proteins and RNA, and those RNAs are called ribosomal RNA or rRNA, small r. And in the ribosomes, protein synthesis occurs, Ribosomes, as well as other small particles and molecules which are present in the cytosol, are measured in units. A measurement unit is there that describe their rate of sedimentation during density gradient centrifugation in sucrose. In a sucrose solution, if RNAs are placed and the mixture is centrifuged, then there will be gradient of density of sucrose. Sucrose density will be higher in the lower level of the test tube, and towards the upper level there will be lower density. This is called density gradient centrifugation. This technique gives information on size and shape of an organelle like ribosome, because the heavier ribosomes will be sedimented faster. That means the speed of sedimentation will be different in case of different organelles. So this technique gives information on size and shape while simultaneously isolating the molecules. Suppose you are given a mixture of molecules of different molecular weights, and isolation by centrifugation in sucrose is done. It is a relatively relatively gentle isolation technique. The molecules still retain their biological properties and can be used for further experimentation. That means this centrifugation, this separation of the ribosomes and then their centrifugation in the sucrose solution is done in such a gentle way that they do not get separated, the units do not get separated, and as the ribosomes as a whole can be used for further experimentation. In the 1920s, physical chemist T. Swedberg developed this technique of ultracentrifugation, giving its name to the unit of sedimentation, the Swedberg unit or S. In sucrose density gradient centrifugation, I told you the gradient is formed by layering on decreasingly concentrated sucrose solution. In a related technique, cesium chloride density gradient centrifugation will be discussed while we will be discussing the DNA replication. Such a gradient develops during centrifugation. The sucrose centrifugation is stopped after a fixed time. And samples can be isolated from a sucrose gradient by punching a hole in the bottom of the tube and collected the drops in sequentially numbered containers. This way, it has been found that ribosomes in all organisms are made of two subunits of unequal size. The sedimentation value is 50S, means 50 Swedberg units for the large one, in E. coli, and 30S for the smaller one. 2 units are assembled together. One is 50S and the other is 30S. Together they sediment at about 70S. S means speed of sedimentation, nothing else. And measuring the speed of sedimentation, the size and molecular weight is measured in biology. So the ribosomes sediment at about 70S, but in eukaryotic cells the ribosomes vary from 55S to 66S. 55S to 66S, easy to remember, 55S to 66S in animals and 70S to 80S in fungi and higher plants. Each ribosomal subunit comprises 1 or 2 pieces of ribosomal RNA and a fixed number of proteins. This 30S subunit of E. coli has 21 proteins and a 16S molecule of ribosomal RNA. And the 50S subunit, it has 34 proteins and 2 pieces of ribosomal RNA, one 23S and the other 5S. In the E. coli, all three ribosomal RNA segments, I mentioned three segments, 16S ribosomal RNA, 23S and 5S. These three RNA segments, rRNA segments, are transcribed as a single long piece of RNA. That means when it is produced, when it was in its nascent stage, it was a single strand of RNA, which afterwards was clipped and modified to form the final three pieces of RNAs, as mentioned, 16S, 23S and 5S. There appear to be about 5 to 10 copies of the DNA region that transcribe this part. And there is another type of RNA, that is transfer RNA. During protein synthesis, a messenger RNA, of which I will discuss at the end of this chapter. During protein synthesis, a messenger RNA carries the information transcribed from the gene, that means DNA. That messenger RNA comes out of the nuclear envelope to the cytosol and are bound to the ribosomes. Amino acids are brought to the ribosome attached to transfer RNAs. The code is read in sequences of 3 nucleotides called codons. And however, before going into detail, codons, anticodons, I am going into the detail, but before that, we should know that transfer RNAs have several unusual properties, and the very name transfer RNA, it signifies that ribosomes synthesize proteins and the messenger RNA places itself between the two units of the ribosomes, and the messenger RNA has its own codons, and the transfer RNAs, they remain in the cytosol. They get attached to, each of them get attached to a specific amino acid and brings it to the messenger RNA on the codons. The codons remain on the messenger RNA, and complementary strands of 3 nucleotides, consecutive three nucleotides, are formed with the transfer RNAs. I am giving you the picture which will clearly illustrate. On the messenger RNA, the transfer RNAs are placed one after another, and each transfer RNA is bringing an amino acid, a specific amino acid.